iOS 14 and iOS 15 have been causing huge tracking issues for e-commerce entrepreneurs all over the globe. Now, if you've been using TikTok or Facebook ads, you'll know that about 30 to 40% of your sales aren't tracking on the native platforms, and that will lead to you sometimes scaling unprofitable ads or even turning off profitable ads. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can get around this problem, some of the top tricks and solutions to allow you to start scaling your ads more profitably, lead to a better ROAS, and ultimately a more profitable business. My name is Sebastian. I am a serial e-commerce entrepreneur. I run multiple e-commerce brands. I have scaled clients' ads to 7 or even 8 figures in some cases using Facebook, TikTok, and Google ads. I am also coaching students to do exactly the same thing at the moment. PS, if you want to do that, there is a link down below in the description. You can go visit my website. But in today's video, I'm going to take you through some of the top tips and tricks that I have used to scale their brands, and I'm going to share those with you today. So what are we going to be doing? It's going to be using UTM tracking links. And for those of you who already know what UTM tracking links are, don't click away now. I have some cool juicy stuff that you probably haven't yet heard of. For those of you who don't know what UTM tracking links are, essentially they are a code snippet that you add to the end of your domain. So if you have a product page link that you want to track sales for, you can add a UTM snippet onto the end of that domain. Now, the best example for this is if you run Facebook ads and you're losing out on tracking on Facebook, you can add a UTM tracking link to the end of your domain, and then you can, through a separate tool externally to Facebook, you can actually track which campaigns, ad sets and ads are making sales, which then means obviously you can turn off ads that are unprofitable and you can scale ads that are profitable. Same thing goes for ad sets. If you're testing multiple different interests, you can do the same. You can turn off or scale interests and then obviously campaigns. Another explanation for this is if you are running a brand and you have traffic existing coming from, let's say, Facebook, Instagram or whatever, and you then want to test out different influencers, well, you can provide each influencer with a different UTM tracking link, obviously at the end of your domain, that will then track sales from each influencer. So for example, if I have 5 influencers, I give them all the links to my product page plus the UTM tracking link at the end of it, and each one has a different UTM tracking source, and that will allow me to track the sales for each influencer, so I know which ones to then work with and which ones to not work with. And I'm going to take you through how you can get all set up for this in just a second. Actually, I'll do it now. We're going to be using ClickMagick to get started. So there is a link, top link down below in the description. Go ahead, click that and sign up for ClickMagick. You get a 14-day free trial. You can just click here, create a free account. It takes seconds to do. It's really, really easy. I do recommend you get the paid plan. I think the basic plan is at $35 per month. It may sound expensive, but if you're serious about growing your business, $35 per month is a drop in the ocean to what you'd be losing without ClickMagick. Now, trust me when I say if you can scale ads that are profitable, you will make that $37 back in an instant. However, if you're not using something like ClickMagick, that $37 is something that you should have spent because you could be losing thousands of dollars per month. So consider that when you're choosing your pricing plan. Now, ClickMagick is essentially a tool to allow us to visually see how our UTM tracking links are doing. So let's pick apart what UTM tracking links look like. Now, this is a template. If you want to go ahead and download this, this will be the second link in the description down below. You can visit my website, put your email in, and I'll send you this, this document. And essentially, it will have all the information from this video, and you can also copy the UTM tracking links to use for your ads. This one here is the tracking link for Facebook. When you see it, it won't have this at the front of it. It'll just look like this. Now, we have 5 different terms here that we want to pick apart. The first one is the source. Now, for this one, obviously, it's called Facebook because we're going to be using this one for Facebook ads. If it was TikTok ads, you'd change it to TikTok. If it was for an influencer, you'd probably say IG Influencer 1 or IG Influencer 2. Then we have the UTM medium, which is the placement. Now, the placement I leave as placement for Facebook because it allows me to track which placements are working well. Now, let's head over to ClickMagick just to show you visually what this means. If I turn this down so you can see, here I have set up the medium. So you can see here, if we go back to the UTM link, it says UTM_medium equals placement. Everything that's in bold is something that you can edit. Everything else, do not touch. If you edit place, so if you leave it as placement, then it will track Instagram stories, Instagram feed, Facebook mobile feed, all of these things. And if I were making sales, you can see here S is actually sales. It would then track which placement was making the sales. Same thing goes for UTM term. So for term, I like to use ad set name. If we go back to the UTM here, we can see UTM term right at the end is ad set.name. And if we look here, we can see here that the term is saying IG engaged. So I'm running an Instagram engaged retargeting and a view content retargeting audience, and we're tracking for those. Same thing goes for content. So content is basically, I set it up to track the ad name. See here, UTM content equals ad.name. Now, I can now track which ad sets and which ads are making sales, which means I can then go back over to Facebook and I can turn off or scale ads that are performing or ads that aren't performing. It's actually very simple and easy to do. Now for Facebook, let's go over to Facebook and we'll actually have a look at what it looks like. Now here's something that I prepared earlier. You can see if I've just put my domain in, volkis.co.uk, just an example, that's my domain. I don't need to change anything here. That's perfectly fine. All I need to do is come down to my URL parameters here and paste in exactly what I've written on that document. You don't need to change anything at all. It's already done for you. And this will pre-populate everything. So if, for example, this campaign were running, it would populate the campaign name with portrait, the ad set name with London, and the ad name with video 1. That way I can track if video 1's working within that ad set. I can also track if that ad set's working. If it's not working, I can turn it off. If it is working, I can scale it. So it's very, very simple for something like Facebook. Then if I want to duplicate everything or use this ad again, I don't need to change this. I can just duplicate the whole ad set and everything will automatically update. You don't even need to touch it. So Facebook is very, very hands-off. And like you can see here, you can track a lot of stuff with ClickMagick. Now let's head back over to this and we'll have a look at what looks like for TikTok. Head over to TikTok ads. This is slightly different and it can become quite complicated and convoluted. I'm currently working on a new solution for this, so keep your eyes peeled. I may bring out something again. Oh, and just a quick reminder again, if you want to go ahead and set up ClickMagick, it's the top link down below in the description. But what you do is you set up your ad, you put in your link, your domain name. So if it's your product page, you put in your product page link as you normally would. But if I scroll down here, there's not a lot I can do. They've got this click tracking URL and impression tracking URL, but just ignore all of this. Don't even touch this. This is just going to become complicated. What you want to do is you want to take this and we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it down here. So you'll have two. And we're going to change the source to TikTok because obviously we're running for TikTok ads. UTM medium, I'm just going to leave it as placement. It doesn't matter. In this case, the placement's obviously TikTok ads. When you choose placements on TikTok ads, you've got TikTok, Pangle, and some other one. But obviously, we're just doing TikTok ads. So just leave that as placement. It doesn't matter. Now, problem with TikTok ads is it doesn't automatically update. So we can't, well, at least as I found. If you can find it on the internet, then go for it. When you download this, I may have found a way of doing it and I may have updated the document for you already. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But we may need to put in here where it says the campaign name, there isn't a dynamic character, dynamic phrase that we can put in here which will automatically update it. So we'll want to put in the campaign name. So for example, we'll say top of funnel audience test. And don't put any spaces in, just leave it as it is. Just either do it like that or you can put like full stops in or hyphens or something. But if I were you, I wouldn't do any special characters, just like I'm showing you here. So that's going to be the campaign name. And then obviously we want to track the ad group name. So we want to come down here to UTM term because UTM term is what we're using to track the ad group name. So here we want to say, let's say the interest is pets. Okay, so we're going to put in pets. And then we say, well, the content that we're running here, this is going to be video 1. So whatever we want to change the name to. The name, you want to give it the same name that it's got on TikTok. Otherwise, you're going to become very confused. So here, we'll call it, Control, I'll do video 1, just so you guys know. So the ad name here is video 1. And then we come down here, we want to change the UTM content to video 1. Now, that means that we take this. Oh, by the way, you want to put a question mark in front of it. So you want to take everything like that. And like I say, this will be down below in the description if you want to download this. You can take all of this, you can copy it, head over to here, and once you've got your domain, you want to paste it in at the end of it. So you now have your domain with your UTM source equals TikTok, UTM medium, blah, 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 all the way along. And there you go, you have your UTM tracking link correctly. Just checking that's correct. Yeah. Now, there is one problem. If I want to go ahead and do this multiple times, if I duplicate this ad, I want to then go in and change at the end here the ad name. So if I have 3 ads, I want to have video 2 and then video 3 and whatnot. So each ad has to have its own tracking, obviously, if you want to track ads. If you don't really care about the ads, then don't worry about it. You just have it for your ad group. And then obviously, don't forget, if you duplicate your ad group on TikTok, you can't then go in and edit the ads once you've published it. So when you duplicate it, come to the ad level and you want to come in and you want to change your UTM content. So the ad name again, you want to call it video 1, for example, that's fine. And then obviously the term, maybe we're running something else. Maybe we're running retargeting, I don't know, for this one. That way it will now track the UTM term as retargeting. So we can come to our ClickMagick. You can see here, the term will say retargeting. So now we'll know that retargeting has made 3 sales. And then if we come to our content, it will then say video 1 has made 2 sales, video 2 has made 1. Now, if I were you, I would call it video 1 hyphen retargeting or something like that, so then you know which ad it's come from. At the moment, so yeah, here you can say term, so you can actually pick and choose the term. So if I only want to look at the data for this specific ad set, then I can pick this one, and then the content's obviously only going to show me that specific ad. So you can really mess around with this and track it correctly if you really want to. It's very, very difficult to do this at scale, obviously, because you've got to come into every single ad. I will try and find a solution to this where it's all dynamic, but for the meantime, every time you create an ad group or an ad, always come in and edit the UTM first before you click submit. Otherwise, you're going to have to redo it. So that is everything. That is UTM tracking for you. If you want to know a little bit more about UTM tracking, there is another tool. It's called Wicked Reports, and that link, if I can get that set up, there will be a link down below in the description for Wicked Reports. That is a very expensive tool. I'll head over to Wicked Reports now to show you what it looks like, but essentially Wicked Reports is the daddy of all tracking. Wicked Reports will allow you to track a huge amount of traffic, and it gives you some huge crazy insights. You can track everything. As you can see here, there's a load of stuff for you. However, it's not cheap. You come over to pricing. I don't know if it'll even show it for you. No, it's not going to show you the pricing. You'll have to book a call. Oh, there you go, $597 per month for Wicked Reports. Now, if you are spending over $10,000 per month, Wicked Reports is definitely worth it. Trust me when I say it, it's an expensive tool, but it is incredibly powerful. I have had clients that haven't been using Wicked Reports and they've been doing a 2 ROAS. We've given them Wicked Reports, they've started using Wicked Reports, and now they're doing like a 4.5, 5 ROAS just because of the data that they're getting. Now, people forget, they think that e-commerce is just a game. They don't really know or begin to realize for some reason that it's just a data game. Everything that you do, every decision that you make is based on data. So the more data that you can get, the better informed your marketing can be. So that's why I say if you are interested in getting set up, the top link down below is ClickMagick. Go ahead, click it, you can sign up an account, and if I do manage to get Wicked Reports set up, then you can go ahead and click the link down below to get Wicked Reports set up if you are running higher budgets. I wouldn't recommend Wicked Reports for anyone who's under $10,000 per month. Personally, if you want to go ahead and spend $600 per month for a tool, by all means, go for it. So that's everything today. If you want to download this document, that will also be in the description. But again, ClickMagick, top link down below. And I will see you in the next video.